Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari.
Jaya Gopi
Gopi
Jana
Jana Vallabha
Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Nandana Praja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for that melodious Jai Radha Madhav. Hare Krishna, Madan Gopal Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept our humble obeisances on behalf of everybody who have joined the group and are about to join. Thank you, Prabhuji, for making yourself available at such a short notice. We are really looking forward to your association and seeing you and hearing from you. Prabhuji, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 1, Chapter 19, which is the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. And the text for today is text 6, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we can hand over to you and you can tell us if you wanted us to do the Mangalacharan and read the text purport.
I think what we can do, let us do Mangalacharan first and then we can read. Is that okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Shashwin, are you able to do the Mangalacharan? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shriyutapatakamalам Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shya Shri Rupam Sakrajadam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvedam Swavadudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoshrute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanushrute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ashwin. Very nicely done. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see you and we can hear you as well.
Okay, Jen. Well, I want to thank all of you again, once again, for inviting me and for continuing this very nice um, program all these years. And I think it's been going on for quite a while now. I remember doing Bhagavad Gita and all, and I did miss all your association. So it's always good to be back with this group. So today we are on the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 19th chapter of the first canto, the appearance of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. So we can get started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today what we're going to be covering is a very interesting point in this chapter, but maybe we can do a quick recap of the verses prior. Kritika Mataji, if you can just mute everyone else, that'd be great. Yeah. So we are in verse 6 today, but just recapping, Shukadev Suta Goswami was saying that when he's returning home, this is when we see that Maharaj Parikshit had been cursed, but he was feeling sad not because he was cursed. He was feeling sad because he had committed an offense, or what he felt was an offense. So then he says that because of my neglecting this injunction of the Lord, certainly I have to have some difficulty. And he's saying now I desire that without any reservation, without any delay, that whatever punishment is due to me, that should come now. This way I'll be freed immediately from the sinful reactions, and will learn not to commit such an offense again. Okay, then he went on to say that I'm uncivilized and sinful because I neglected Brahminical culture, I neglected God consciousness, I neglected cow protection. Of course, none of these are actually true, but he's highlighting a point that these aspects should never be neglected. So he's saying that I wish that my kingdom, my strength, my riches, everything I own, everything I consider mine, let that be burnt up, in the sense that let me no longer own them, so that I may not be misguided again in the future, will not develop an attitude of false ego, an attitude of inauspiciousness because of thinking that I own so much, I'm so powerful. So then he was repenting, right? He's repenting, and then he received that news that he'll be killed by the bite of a snake. And he felt that this is good news, because then he knows that 7 days he'll be gone. Nothing can reverse this curse. And he considered it good news. Generally, if something like this were to happen to us, we would not consider it good news. But he considered it good news because he said it'll accelerate my indifference toward worldly things. See? Right? He says that, I'm so absorbed in worldly things. I am thinking all this is mine. I'm thinking that all these successes that I see as a great king of the whole universe, of the whole planet, at least, it's all due to me. and it's mine to enjoy. But that is not a proper way to look at things. So now that I know it's going to be taken away in just 7 days, it's good. He's saying it's very good. It's good news. Why? Because now quickly I will become indifferent. I'll realize they're not mine. And I have some time to at least do it. It's not that I'm going to die in like, 5 minutes. 7 days is not bad. So he sat down on the banks of the holy river and he concentrated his mind on Krishna consciousness. So he knew this is what I'm supposed to do. Krishna is the one I'm supposed to focus on. Of course, Parishit Maharaj is pure devotee, lifelong devotee. He had direct darshan of Krishna even before he was born. In the womb, he saw Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna personally came and revived his dead body. So there's no question of him being one of the greatest devotees. So he knew that I have to focus on Krishna. He also knew that any other processes that are considered processes of self-realization, spiritual processes that are not directly Krishna conscious, that I'm going to reject. And bhakti, the bhakti yoga process is the highest. That being the highest, I want to engage only in pure bhakti yoga. He didn't want to engage in some other kind of impersonal meditation. He didn't want to engage in some kind of hatha yoga system to develop mystic powers. He did not. He rejected them. He kicked them out of his curriculum, his agenda for the next 5 days, 7 days. No more. Only pure Krishna consciousness, meaning bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga is ninefold process, 9 things that are done. Shravan, Kirtana. And the quintessential or the classic example of the best Shravan Kirtan followers or the best practitioner of this process of Shravan and Kirtana are in fact Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Those are the classic examples. So that is the topmost yoga system is bhakti. And the most potent process among those 9 processes, the first ones that are listed are Shravan Kirtana. Means there is some glorification of the Lord happening, of the Lord, his pastimes, his holy name, just Kirtan. And then the hearing process. That's what we are supposed to do every day. All right. So he sat down on the bank of the river. So today, that brings us now to the point of today's text, text number 6. So I'll recite the text. Maybe if everyone has it, they can also follow along. Ya vai lasachri tulasi vimishra krishnangrirenvabhyadikambunetri unatilokanubhayatra sheshan kastam naseve tamareshyamana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The river by which the king sat to fast carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the 3 worlds inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. Purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Maharaj Parikshit, just after receiving the news of his death within 7 days, at once retired from family life and shifted himself to the sacred bank of the Yamuna River. Generally, it is said that the king took shelter on the bank of the Ganges, but according to Srila Jiva Goswami, the king took shelter on the bank of the Yamuna. Srila Jiva Goswami's statement appears to be more accurate because of the geographical situation. Maharaj Parikshit resided in his capital Hastinapur, situated near present Delhi. and the river Yamuna flows down past the city. Naturally, the king would take shelter of the river Yamuna because she was flowing past his palace door. As far as sanctity is concerned, the river Yamuna is more directly connected with Lord Krishna than the Ganges. The Lord sanctified the river Yamuna from the beginning of his transcendental pastimes in the world. While his father Vasudeva was crossing the Yamuna with the baby Lord Krishna for a safe place at Gokula on the other bank of the river from Mathura, the Lord fell down in the river, and by the dust of his lotus feet, the river at once became sanctified. It is especially mentioned herein that Maharaj Parikshit took shelter of that particular river, which is beautifully flowing, carrying the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, mixed with tulsi leaves. Lord Krishna's lotus feet are always besmeared with the tulsi leaves. And as soon as his lotus feet contact the water of the Ganges and the Yamuna, the rivers at once become sanctified. The Lord, however, contacted the river Yamuna more than the Ganges. According to the Varaha Purana, as quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is no difference between the water of the Ganges and the Yamuna. But when the water of the Ganges is sanctified 100 times, it is called the Yamuna. Similarly, it is said in the scriptures that 1,000 names of Vishnu are equal to one name of Rama, and 3 names of Lord Rama are equal to one name of Krishna. So the purport ends here. I offer my humble obeisances unto Lotus feet of our spiritual master, who has opened my darkened eyes and filled my heart with transcendental knowledge. So thank you all once again for joining. Quite a few very important points are covered. So I just wanted to request that I will need to leave about 5 minutes before the end of the hour because I have to go to a work-related meeting. So I'll have to jump off a little early just so we can manage the time. But we have some time. So let us explore some of the points that are covered. Now, Maharaj Parikshit, as soon as he found out that he's going to die in 7 days, he went straight to the bank of the Yamuna. So that was already there. Now, say an average person, average man, say 45-year-old man, average healthy 45-year-old man. What is the probability that he'll live to the age of 50? The chances are very high. It'll be like 98%, 99%. Yeah, he's 45, he's healthy, he's lived so far. To hit 50, his chances are very high. So, so usually like these insurance companies, life insurance companies, when they apply some probabilities to make their calculations, to make the calculations on how much insurable a person is. The age is a major factor and so on. And they give some statistics that, okay, he's a 99% chance of making it to 50. What about age of 60? Maybe he'll go down to 90%. Age of 70, oh, that goes down to maybe 80%. A lot of people die before 70. What about the chances of him hitting 95? Oh, that 95 means he probably only has maybe 25% chance of making it 95. 100, maybe 1%. Make it to 100 years. Very, very few make it to 100 years. So, but to make it to 50 from the age of 45 is a very high chance. So we all operate ourselves, we plan our lives, we operate in our minds based on most of these statistics. That, I'm assuming that I'll live to at least 75. So then I'll retire by the age of maybe 60 something. I'll have 10 years, 15, 20, who knows, to have a nice retired life. So we plan our finances, we plan our wills, we plan our, bucket list. I have to travel here, I want to go there, save enough money for doing some of these things that I had my mind set on. So we plan all these things around the assumption that we will be around for at least the next 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever years, based on the statistics that we think. Some of us are more optimistic. We think we'll 95 for sure. I'll live. Look at my health; is all good. No problem. Genetics. My grandfather lived to be 100, so I'll at least hit 95. So we are. Some of us are more pessimistic. Some of us are more optimistic, right? Parikshit Maharaj, in this situation, he was told 100% chance he will die in 7 days. Not 99.9. There's no chance of you to be saved. That curse means 100%. There is no statistics and probability you are going to apply to this situation. Okay. 100% chance that 7 days from now, today's Monday, next Monday, you're out. That's it. It says here that he was happy. He said, this is good. Now, remember, when we look at our statistics, right? When we say that, will I live to a certain age, maybe in another 5 years, the chances are 98%, 99%. What is the probability that I will be alive in the next 3 days? Oh, that is 99.9999%. 3 days from now, I'll be like 99.99. That's what I can calculate. But I cannot say that 100% I will be alive next 3 days. Nobody can. Nobody. You'll come close to 100, but nobody can guarantee the 100% chance next 3 days I will be alive. It's true. I could die in the next 7 minutes. Could die in the next 7 hours. But Parikshit Maharaj had the advantage that he knew for the next 3 days, 100% chance he'll still be alive, which we don't have. You see, because his death is written 7 days from now. So he has that much confidence that at least 7 days I'm going to be alive. But none of us here can give in writing, or none of us here have 100% chance to be alive 3 days from now. Very high chance, but not 100%. Whereas Parikshit Maharaj had 100% confidence. So he had that advantage. He had the clarity of vision. He had, of course, the understanding and the culture and the education, spiritual education, to know where to go, what to do at this time, and which questions to ask to whom. At least that much he knew. So what do we learn, all of us living in the modern world in 2023, in East Africa, in the UK and the US? What can we learn from this situation? One is that when we become spiritually, say, somewhat awakened, our perspective on life and death should change substantially. Okay? Why? Because the first lesson in spiritual life is that life has continuity. Life will go on after we die. And not life of other people. Our own life will go on. So when we have a continuity, an indestructible existence, then our perspective changes. And the transition to the next life, how we transition, where we end up in the next life, is very, very important. It becomes very clear that we need to prioritize our next life. Whereas when we're materially motivated, we don't have the spiritual understanding, then this life is everything, and our priorities are based on that. So most of us who are practitioners of Krishna, or we're trying to become bhaktas, we're trying to become, say, purer and purer devotees, we are between these two statuses. We are coming out from a fully material perspective, and we're trying to adopt a fully spiritual perspective. But the transition from fully material to fully spiritual is our lifelong project as sadhana bhaktas. You see, the depth of us thinking that happiness is found here with this temporary body, there isn't really any continuity of life. Yeah, maybe they say theoretically, but who knows? Who has seen after that? Nobody has come back from there to test. All these things, doubts always there. They always keep nagging. So enjoy more now. So we are moving from that platform of perspective and assumptions to the higher platform of spiritual life. And as we're moving, we have to work through things that hold us back. And we have to now also know who to approach, where to go, and what questions to ask and then listen clearly. The advice is given. Parikshit Maharaj knew where to go. So here he says what? He goes to the bank of Yamuna. Why? Because the Yamuna is where the Lord, Supreme Lord, did his pastimes. His lotus feet touched the Yamuna, and the fragrant tulsi leaves from the Yamuna is touched. I mean, from the feet of the Lord has touched Yamuna. The dust from his lotus feet has purified the Yamuna. So that place, the sacred existence of that place, has in itself a very purifying effect. Secondly, he knew that he has to sit down and that there'll be saints there who will be coming and he will ask the question. So as the story unfolds, we'll see the questions that he asks and so on. But he knew the goal of life means to disentangle yourself from matter, from our material attachments, to also be enthusiastic about disentangling ourselves from material attachment. You see, when he said, oh, this is good news. Who says this is good news when I'm sorry, Mr. So-and-so, but you have cancer and you have at the most 9 months to 12 months to live. Who says this is good news when you receive that news? Very few people will say this is good news. But Parikshit Maharaj said this is good news because now it's going to accelerate my disentanglement. Why? Because he knew from the beginning that even while he's entangled in running the kingdom, he knew that eventually he has to disentangle himself. And this situation has accelerated his disentanglement. He said, this is good. Sometimes we need a kick like this to at least start disentangling. So I'm going to start right away. Immediately give his kingdom to his son, get out of there. He handed over his kingdom to his son, Janmejay, and he got out of there. He said, okay, snake or snake bird, whatever, something's going to come bite me. Doesn't matter. Let it come. Let it come. Eventually we all have to die. I'm happy that I got a chance to disentangle. I am happy that at least tomorrow I'm not going to die. That much I know. Other people can't even give that guarantee. I can give that. So that's a good thing. And I'm happy that I understand that Krishna is the one that we should turn to. I mean, Parikshit Maharaj's name is Parikshit. His name, Parikshit, means pariksha. Pariksha means to examine. We have examination, we call pariksha. So he was always examining people's faces. That's why he was named Parikshit. Why? He's saying, oh, where's that Krishna who I saw in the womb when I was not even born? I'm looking for. He's constantly looking for Krishna his whole life. So much so his name became that, examiner. Why are you looking at everybody's face so closely? Oh, just want to make sure, is that Krishna? No. He was so much eagerly looking forward to see Krishna, to find that Krishna, that he's named Parikshit. So his whole life has been looking for Krishna. So now when he got this opportunity, he jumped at the chance to see Krishna. Now, this particular river, Yamuna, it is said that it is hundreds of times, 100 times more sanctified than Ganga. Of course, Ganga is also purified by the lotus feet of the Lord, right? And Ganga is received by in the head of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva catches Ganga. That's why one of the names of Lord Shiva is Gangadhar. Gangadhar is the name of Lord Shiva. So like that, and it purifies him also. But Yamuna is even more sanctified, just like this 1,000 names of Vishnu, but 3 times you say Ram is equivalent to 1,000 names of Vishnu. So that's equivalency. And 1 time you say Krishna is 3 times as if you said 3 Ramas. So like that, Krishna is the most concentrated form of auspiciousness, that name Krishna. See? So in the nectar of instruction, there is a verse towards the end by Rupa Goswami. It says, Vaikuntha janito vara madhupari tatrapi rasotsavat kuryadasya virajato viritate. So it says that greater than Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, Vaikuntha janito vara madhupuri. Better than Vaikuntha is Madhupuri, which is Mathura. Mathura, he says, is higher than Vaikuntha in sense. If you read Nectar of Instruction is important, only 11 verses, but it's essential. He says greater than Vaikuntha is Madhupuri, which is Mathura. Why? because Mathura district, this whole district of Mathura, because Lord Krishna took his birth there. So the birth pastime of that baby Krishna is so beautiful. It's such an intimate, sweet pastime. That birth pastime is not available in Vaikuntha, because in Vaikuntha, Krishna does not take birth. He's always existing, you see. So it's a sweetness that's available only in Mathura, right? Right? The Trapi Rasot Savad. Then he says, but more is greater than Mathura is the forest of Vrindavan, because that's where Lord Krishna performed his pastimes, of rasa dance. And greater than Vrindavan. Now, within Mathura district is Vrindavan, by the way. He says then even more intimate and more spiritually vibrant than even Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, because Krishna raised it with his own hand. So he touched it, he raised it himself. And then, so that's within, right? In Mathura district is Vrindavan. Within Vrindavan area is Govardhan. But it says even higher than Govardhan is Radhakund. Radhakund miha pi go kulapate premamrita plavanat. Why? Because within that Govardhan area, the Radhakund is highest because it contains this water, magical water, which is the Premamrita Plavanat. It is the essence of pure love of Krishna. See, because it represents Srimati Radharani's love for Lord Krishna. See, it is Radharani's love for Lord Krishna. So anywhere within this jurisdiction of Lord Krishna's pastimes, when he was a baby and he fell into the river Yamuna, these are very, very dear to the Lord. These are very, very dear to the devotees of the Lord. And therefore, we as practitioners of Krishna consciousness, we can go visit these places. We can take a dip in the Yamuna. We can take a dip in the pond, Radha Kund. And of course, we have to take a dip with a great deal of respect. We don't go just like for joking around. We take a great deal of respect for our purification. And it is very, very powerful. But at the same time, when we go there, the focus of the Krishna conscious practice is what? Aligning our intelligence with Krishna's teachings. Hearing from those sadhus who self-realized, hearing from them the tattva, who is Krishna? What is my duty? How can I be more Krishna conscious? These are the discussions should always be going on. It's not like, okay, now I've reached here, I don't need to discuss anymore. No, no, no. Hearing, understanding, aligning our intelligence, really, really grappling and digesting this information, these concepts. This is always has to happen. This is called Buddhi Yoga. That is why it says that one should not go to these holy places and take a bath. You'll get no benefit. Why? Well, the whole point of going to holy places, yes, take bath, this is purifying, no problem. But there are sadhus there who are self-realized. These holy places attract great sadhus. So you find devotees who are practicing deeply, and you inquire from them, you hear from them. If you don't go hear from the sadhus, you've wasted the journey to the holy place. That's what makes it special. This instructions are all there in our scriptures. Prabhupada emphasized also. So when we go to the holy place, our goal is, of course, we take a bath and we bow down, we touch the soil and all that. We should do that. But we should not do that to the exclusion of hearing and understanding and asking thus intelligent questions. Engage the intelligence. Krishna has given us intelligence, not to throw it away aside and to apply blind faith. No, faith is important. Faith means making a choice where to apply my intelligence. Faith does not mean take my intelligence, throw it in the garbage. No, faith means making a right choice of applying my intelligence to understand, okay, I'm going to place faith in this scripture so that now I'll apply my full intelligence to understand the scripture to see how it works in the world. That's where you apply faith. Not that I'll just do, okay, you tell me to bath here, I'll take a bath there. Put a dust there, I'll just do this. I don't care, I don't want to think anymore. No, no, we should never abandon thinking. We should never abandon intelligent analysis. Why do you think Prabhupada spent all night writing his books? Such depth, such sophisticated concepts, such abstract thoughts to cover. Why? Not to just to sell books and make money. No, it's for us to read, for us to apply, for us to understand, see the world through these teachings. Then when we're facing the world, different things, we can understand. In this situation, the ideal way for me to act is this way, through the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So when we go to the holy river like Yamuna, yes, we bow down to the shores of Yamuna. We take the water, sprinkle on our head, take a dip, take a sip, everything. Yamuna Pan, Yamuna Snan, right? Take a dip, take a sip, fine. But now we also contemplate, just like Parishit Maharaj is about to do. He's about to contemplate. He's about to ask the deep questions. He's about to process the answers that Shukadeva Goswami is going to give him. And then he'll ask further questions. This is the process for us to follow, not ritualistically. You see, Prabhupada was not fond of us approaching anything mechanically, mechanistically, ritualistically, like robots. That I do this many circles, I do this many rounds without, mindless, without connecting, just chant, blah, 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 but no connection or trying to hear. No, we are supposed to hear carefully. We're supposed to align our heart with the holy name. So many things we have to do. We should not be mindless, mechanistic, robotic approach. This is called a ritualistic approach. You see, when we remove the spirit, supreme personality from our practice, it becomes ritualistic. You see, when you put SP, then it becomes spiritual instead of ritual. Supreme personality you add becomes spiritual. You see, so we have to always keep Krishna in the center. We have to be spiritualists, not ritualists. Therefore, whenever we see the Ganges is important, Yamuna is important, we should take the opportunity to go there and engage again our intelligence when we go there, and so on. Okay, so we've covered pretty much everything in today's verse, and as the story unfolds tomorrow, more and more, we will see that how he is now going to do some tapasya, how he's going to do some fasting and all that, and then the divine appearance of Shukadeva Goswami will happen. So some more things to come. All right, so I'll pause over here, and if we have any discussions or questions, we can do for the next say 15 minutes or so.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for today's session. I open this up for any questions or comments. Are there any questions or comments from the group? And maybe I can ask a question. I can set the ball rolling. Prabhuji, for those people who say that, so we understand that life is continuous, even after we die, it continues. But how do we counsel those people who are tired and say, oh, I'm tired of life and I want to die? How do we explain to them that death is not just the end? There is much more. I mean, you're never going to die. So especially for those people who are really tired of life, how do we talk to them, Prabhuji?
Yes. No, this is a very real problem. It is a real problem. Even sometimes us devotees may even face it ourselves. Forget about other people. We also may think, forget it. I'm really tired. I mean, I try to be Krishna conscious. My family life is so much problem. My body is giving so much problem. I'm getting old anyway. And my children are giving problem. It's just problem after, there's nothing but problem in this world. And death will be such a sweet relief. And all of a sudden death becomes like very attractive, not for the right reasons, for the wrong reasons, that I'm just tired, I want to die, I look forward to death. Now, there are a couple of ways we can look at it. First of all, counseling somebody is a very delicate subject matter, and depending on person to person, some things work and some things can backfire. So we have to be careful how we apply. We can't just say that anybody who asks this question, we use the same answer, we give it. Everybody's in different case. As a medical practitioner, how that works. You can't give the same medicine to everybody who has the same complaint. You have to ask more questions. You have to understand, diagnose it properly. You have to approach it delicately. So some people are so severely depressed that they are on the verge of suicide. It's no question. Or maybe not suicide, but they're just so tired, like, I can't wait for death to come. And then they live a life of quiet quitting from everything, a depressed life. It happens. It's a very, very common problem. Even those who are accomplished, especially those who are accomplished, who have a lot of money, even who have accomplished a lot of things, a lot of respect in the world, but still, So the fact that the world tires us out, it wears us out, it is not something to be surprised about. That's the nature of the world. Why? Because it never delivers on its promises. The world thinks, okay, the material angle, materialists and the material world keeps promising you, okay, you buy this, you'll be happy. You do this, eat this, you'll be happy. You drink that, you'll be happy. You invest in this, you'll make a lot of money, and then you'll be happy. But then when we even do those, we follow through on those, we don't find happiness at the end of that project. We don't find it. We find ourselves more worn out and miserable and more entangled than anything else. So pretty much everything is a false promise in the material world because it doesn't deliver. So it leaves us frustrated. It leaves us angry even. So that is a given. So we should not be surprised that people are frustrated, angry, and want to, give it all up. We should be surprised that even now people are still going on. That's really what we should be surprised about, given the realities of the world. So we can certainly, one way to counsel is to first empathize. That, yeah, I hear you. I completely understand what you're saying, and there's nothing surprising about this. But at the same time, our nature, why are we tired of this world? Because we want to be happy and the world is not delivering happiness, you see. So maybe it's time to reevaluate our approach to happiness altogether. Let us try simplifying our lives. Let us try giving up certain things that are unnecessary. Let us unburden ourselves. Let us add little by little, as much as possible, Krishna, who is the source of all happiness, into your life in different ways. So adding of Krishna requires a little bit of creative thinking. If I have no more time at all, I say, no, yeah, you're saying add Krishna, you're saying I should chant Hare Krishna, but I have no time. Look at my schedule. Fine. Wake up. First thing you wake up, think of Krishna. And before you put your feet down on the floor, chant Hare Krishna 3 times. That's it. Add that much once a day. That little, you squeeze Krishna through one crack in someone's lives, but tell them to do it seriously, and then we give them full support. Then gradually, the soul will feel some satisfaction because Krishna is the source of satisfaction. So we add Krishna through the holy name. We'll come to the temple sometime. I don't come to a temple, I'll come to your house, we'll do kirtan. Do a little kirtan. Let's, once a week, 10 minutes on the phone, discuss Bhagavad Gita. Just kind of talk about it. It's fun, how to apply it in the world. Then definitely eat prasadam, find a way to. So if we squeeze Krishna into their lives by giving prasadam, by giving some time, your own time to them as a counselor, you eager to listen to their problems and so on, help them out, becoming friendly to them, give prasadam, give a little bit of kirtan, maybe invite them to temple if that is suitable to them. Some people make them more upset going to temple. So you have to know what works with some people, but somehow or other, if we add Krishna in people's lives while giving them hope that no, we have to find happy. We are by nature happy. Anandamaya Bhyasa, that's the nature of the soul. So if we can ourselves find happiness in Krishna consciousness, and they can see it on our faces, they can feel the resonance that no, I can see that you guys, you all devotees are happy. That means it is possible to find happiness as a human being. The fact that all of you, you seem fairly happy. You go on the streets, you're jumping up and down, 4 o'clock in the morning. Who jumps at up 4 o'clock in the morning? So that lifestyle, that's what we are as preachers. It is said that you should always preach. And if necessary, use words. You see, only if necessary, use words. Means preaching doesn't mean just speaking and yapping. Preaching also means living the life. So then when people see you, just by your behavior you're preaching, just by the happiness you exude, your level of tolerance, that even though you're going through so many heavy ups and downs, you are still persisting. You're still maintaining a smile on your face. You have the depth of maturity. to move through the difficulties of life and move ahead and still have a positive outlook. These kind of things as devotees, when we cultivate, people see them. And then they want to be like that. They want that strength. And they ask, where's the strength coming from? Then we can say it's inspired by the Lord in the heart, plus the other devotees are practicing, plus the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, plus the prasadam, plus the, all the processes. These are all a package that makes us stronger, makes us happier. So if we can introduce Krishna to others, give Krishna, then the Lord will take care of the rest. We have done our part, So that's what I could offer. But yeah, it's a very deep question. You can talk about this a lot. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Yeah. Are there any other questions or comments from the group? I'm cognizant of the time. Prabhuji has to leave in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we have another 10 minutes or so. Then we have a good turnout today. We have 25 participants. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Prabhuji, you are attracting them. So thank you for joining the group and giving your association. Another question, Prabhuji. I mean,
I think Shobha Mataji had a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I can't see her, so that's kindly unmute and ask your question, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for a wonderful class. I just wanted to
Hare
make
Krishna.
a comment on the fact how you explained, when Parikshit Maharaj found out that he has only 7 days to live, and if it was like someone like me, then I would feel really depressed and falling apart. I would fall apart. But the way you explained it, that Parikshit Maharaj considered it as an opportunity to free himself from the entanglement. And he also took it as a blessing that he is guaranteed to live for 7 days. And, people like us, we don't have any guarantee. We might have 2 or 3 days to live. So those kind of explanations, I found them extremely encouraging and blissful to hear, Prabhuji. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the story of Parikshit Maharaj is actually very inspiring. It's inspiring for us. And in one sense, we are all like that. It's just that Parikshit Maharaj has woken up to the reality that death is coming, but we have not. Death is something happens to other people, older people. I'm not old. Even the 85-year-old guy is saying I'm not old. because he knows somebody who's 95, Right.
Yeah.
So that's always good point. Anybody else have any other comments?
That's true, Prabhuji. My father-in-law, who's with us, is 91, and out of respect, everybody calls him Maze, and he tells them, "I'm not Maze." So at 91, also he doesn't feel old. So.
તમે મજે ના હો તો કોણ આવવાનું તો મજે? I mean, if you're not મજે, who's going to be? I mean, yeah.
I like the point where Parikshit Maharaj was an advanced devotee. I mean, self-realized, and he was advanced, but still, his attitude. I really learned from these few verses that his attitude was different, like from an advanced devotee to probably a liberated devotee. I mean, I don't know the right words, but even that transition was not easy, and he had to change his attitude that yes, probably I did something wrong. So I really like that point that you made. And Panchali Mataji has a question. Hare Krishna Mataji, kindly unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. A very quick question on the difference of the sanctity of Mother Ganga versus Mother Yamuna. Now, both the rivers come from the Lord's feet, so they've touched the Lord's feet. So that is the reason. I mean, they're both Charanamrit, because they've both touched Lord's feet. Now, Mother Yamuna, she's also called as Kalindi, she's also a consort of the Lord. Is that the reason why she's considered to be more important than Mother Ganges, who's a devotee, a great devotee, but additionally, Mother Yamuna is also the consort of the Lord? Is that the reason?
Good question. Good question. And this kind of question falls under this particular category of questions of among which this sort of question falls. Okay, and I'll give you the broader perspective on how to understand these kind of questions before I answer it. So yes, that is one way, one of the many reasons why Yamuna is considered greater than Ganga. But Ganga is no less great in one sense, because Ganga is also the Chanamrit, like you said, you know, and in some places there's said no difference really between Ganga and Yamuna. So now, when these kind of questions come in, they are quite confusing sometimes, because we hear these statements, and many of these statements come across as contradictory. Okay, so like for example, I'll give you another statement. It is said that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. You might have heard that. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Yet we have Krishna pastime in Dwarka, which is not Vrindavan. He has pastimes in Hastinapur, in Kurukshetra. And they say, no, the Krishna and the battlefield of Kurukshetra who was speaking Gita is different. He's a Vasudev Krishna, whereas the Krishna is in Vrindavan is a Shamsundar Krishna. You know, two different people almost. So which is it? You know, and then we also hear things like, well, Nrsingadev is also Krishna, and Lord Ram is also Krishna. Ramadi Murti Shukalani Amenatishtan. So Lord Ram is also Krishna, but at the same time, even we're saying he's not. So which is it? Is Krishna of Dwarka not Krishna, or not the same as the Yashodanandan Krishna? So to understand these different, to reconcile these kind of questions, one needs to understand the existence of two platforms of philosophical understanding. Okay, one is called Tattva Vichar, and the other is called Rasa Vichar. Okay, Tattva Vichar means existentially there is only one Vishnu Tattva. You see, that is Krishna. He's a source of all expansion of Lord Vishnu. You know, Balram is Vishnu Tattva, Nrsingadev is Vishnu Tattva, the three Vishnu incarnate, you know, Kshirodakshai, Mahavishnu, all those are Vishnu Tattva. Krishna in Vrindavan is Vishnu Tattva, Krishna in Dwarka is Vishnu Tattva, Kurma Avatar is Vishnu Tattva, Nrsinga, all this, right? Kurma, Ram, these are all Vishnu Tattva. Okay? So as far as Vishnu Tattva goes, that's the same person, as far as Tattva goes. But as far as Rasa goes, now Rasa refers to the flavor of loving exchange between the Lord and his devotees, how the Lord interacts, how that particular form of the Lord behaves, because he has to maintain a flavor, you see, of rasa. Now, Krishna in Dwarka never plays the flute. Flute is reserved for Vrindavan only. That is a flavor. So that particular rasa is only found in Vrindavan, you see. In Vrindavan, Krishna never puts on shoes. He never takes up weapons. He's killed so many demons. You know, even though he didn't use a single weapon, always bare hands or something. Somebody picked up a tree, never used a weapon. That flavor is found elsewhere. Krishna in Dwarka married many wives. Lord Ram married only one. It's the same person. Tattva is the same. Rasa is different. There's a distinction in rasa. So similarly, when Tattva goes, Ganges water and Yamuna water, they're one and the same Tattva. But when you're talking about rasa, the intimacy of the pastimes of Yamuna with Krishna, you know, that Krishna is on the banks of the Yamuna playing the flute and gopis come running. He doesn't do it in Ganga. So intimacy is available in Yamuna a little bit more. Therefore, it's considered higher. That's why I quoted the other verse, Vaikuntha Janito Vara Madhupuri, that higher than Vaikuntha is Mathura. How can that be? Well, this is rasa. Rasa is sweeter in Mathura. So that's the point. So once you can differentiate that this is a rasa discussion and this is a tattva discussion, then all these contradictions get resolved right away. You see?
Yeah,
I hope
thank you
that
very
helps.
much, Prabhuji. Yes, of course. Yeah, thanks very much. Hare Krishna. That's very nicely explained.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
I do need to leave now, but I look forward to joining all of you again. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
there are lots of comments on the chat saying that we have missed your association and you should give us more time in the near future. I'll ask Path Prabhu just to thank you for this session and ending this session. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Path Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Maybe he's having internet challenges.
No, Hare Krishna. Yes, yes, I hear you, but I cannot open because you off the audio, video.
Okay, Prabhuji, kindly.
Okay. No, it's cannot open. It's okay. If you not open the video, it's okay. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. His Grace Madan Gopal Prabhuji. After a long time, we hear you, and also you know something different because the tattva, the difference between the like if Russia and the tattva, that is very significant. This topic. Thank you very much to you for your nice and wonderful depth class. Also, thanks all the devotees who joining here, assembling in this platform. I request everyone, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for glorification of His Grace Madan Gopal Prabhuji. Please join. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pancha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Madan Gopal Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Please, thank you. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.